thanks for coming along today. Just thought it'd be great to ask you a few questions as one of the coaches from the Xylem Zone, so our audience and our clients can get a bit more of a feel for who you are and what your journey's been like.
Yep,
so I've got a few questions for you here. So easy one at the beginning. Why did you begin property investing?
Well, I was about 25 years old. I bought myself a block of land which I intended to build on, and then I also was thinking about my future, where I want to get to, and I had the ability to look at a unit. So I bought myself a 2-bedroom unit. It was in Adelaide where I lived, so just a local unit, and moved on from there, so it went really well.
Yeah, cool. And 25 is quite young to start investing. Who kind of planted that seed for you to think that was even a good idea?
Yeah, I think it was my parents. They bought a couple of units themselves as just the thing to do. I'm not sure where their inspiration come from, and a few other people I knew just bought individual units, so that's what I went to do. And it just seemed to be, at that point, a choice that was the right one. I looked at shares. They didn't seem to be the way to go forward with, and so I went into a unit.
Yeah, cool. So this is quite a good one. What's the most challenging moment you've experienced as an investor? I'm sure people would like to hear about that.
Yeah, so there was a time, it was about 12 years ago, us as a family lived overseas in America, and we come back home and the interest rates were quite high at the time, and while coming back we had a pay cut, and what happened then is we had a lot of struggling to actually service our loans. We had a couple of properties at that point, and so we were challenged to do that. We had to work at different ways, get new loans. We learned things like interest-only loans at that time, and also my wife had to go out to work, so that was a bit stressful for us to get through that period.
So the cash flow and just changes that you couldn't control were the things that compounded, yeah?
That's correct, yes. Yep.
Yeah, right.
And maybe a little bit of taking my eye off the ball when we were overseas to what was really going on, so we had to refocus when we got back.
Yeah, cool. And so I suppose then that kind of ties in with the next question. What lessons has your investing life taught you?
So I think on a whole, what it's taught me is it's a slow process. You've got to look at it for the long game. And what I've learned to do is to understand what the end goal is, and then develop a plan to get there and work out how to plan. So it's not just a wish or just an airy-fairy thing. It's actually a detailed plan on how I'm going to get there, and using investing to do that over the period of 20-25 years.
Yeah. So do you think you can make money fast with investing, or is it always all the little bits adding up to give you the outcomes you want?
Oh, look, if you're lucky you can make money fast, but for the lower risk it's all the little bits adding up, and understanding all the bits you're investing, which areas you're investing in, even if it's different investments.
Yeah. And do you plan on retiring?
I do plan on retiring. I plan within the next 9 months to give up full-time work. I guess from a retirement point of view, I'm still going to be doing something, but I see that point as the option I have, that I don't have to work for funds or for money, and I'll be able to give up work, but then still want to be doing a lot of other things. So I guess retiring is not the right word. It's more like I'll have the freedom to do what I want to do, and a large part of that will be working on the Xylem Zone.
Right. And how much of an impact, or how much has your property and your investing in your plan been part of giving you that choice?
That's the key part of it. So I have got reasonable superannuation, but that wouldn't be enough on its own. And so that with the properties, and bringing all these little pieces together with my journey with the property has allowed us to do that as a family.
Excellent. Right, mate. Well, thanks for coming along today. I'm sure we're going to have more questions for you in the future, but that'll give everyone a bit of a feel for who you are, and thanks for that.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, mate.